Hey, Shawnee from SpeedCubeReview.com. So I'm going to go over how to scramble a Skewb and then also how to solve it. And this is going to be a very beginner method. I'm going to link to Sarah Strong's tutorial. That's kind of how I learned. I don't know if I'm doing exactly what she says for the beginner method, but if you want more detail or more advanced method, you can look at that in the description. So first off, the way the Skewb works is we've got the same sort of color scheme that we do on a 3x3, but it's turning on these corners like that, and we've got magnets or ball bearings for them to click into place. This one has ball bearings. So as far as scrambling it, you're going to put white on top, green on the left, and red in front or on the right, and this one facing you, white, red, green. You only have 4 letters. You've got R, L, U, and B, and none of them are going to alter this spot. So you should always have this facing you. R is back here, and L is back here. U is back here, and then back is all the way at the opposite corner. And then it's the same way that you would do a 3x3 where R is this way and R prime is this way. So if you're looking at head-on, clockwise, counterclockwise. And then we've got L and L prime, U and U prime, and then way back here, B and B prime. So that's Skewb notation. We're going to scramble this up, and I'm just going to use a random scramble I'm looking at right now, and it's B prime. Whoop, did I do it too much? Nope. B prime, R, L prime, U prime, R prime, B, R prime, U prime. So you see this one never was adjusted. Now, half this is going to be intuitive, and the other part's going to be algorithms. And the algorithms are really all based off of Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, if you don't know, on a 3x3 is doing the moves R prime F, R, F prime. Now, I might be using the terms R and F not exactly in the same spot we scrambled it, but you'll get the idea. Now, what I'm going to do first is build up the bottom corners, and that should be the intuitive process first. Now I'm going to show you some tips with that. So I see the green one right here, and that's already lined up. So I'm just going to start with that. I need green and orange here, and green and white here. Well, I've got green and white, so that one needs to go here. I can't just move it down because it's not going to be oriented correctly. So what I'm going to do is turn it and then move it down. So for example, I can move this over here, turn it, and then move it back. And now that's lined up. This should be intuitive, and it takes a little while to understand how that turns, but really you're either just rotating it and moving it in to finalize that. So again, here I need green and green and red's right here. I can't just move it in. I could rotate it here, but it's going to bump that out, right? So what I'm going to do is rotate it, move it into place, and then I can just move that other one back. So then we've got one more, green and orange. Again, right here, I can rotate it in place, move it in. Whoop, come on. There we go. And then move that other one back. Now, that line up that, happened to solve a lot of it. That was not a good scramble then, because I can't show you the rest of that. So I'll mess some of this up, so I'll show you that. So solving that bottom layer is not too difficult. It's a lot of just twisting and moving it in. There will be a few cases that you will have to maybe do something slightly more elaborate, like move it to the other side and twist it, but that's pretty straightforward. Now on the top, you're going to have opposite colors, so green and blue. So I need to orient all the blue corners, and they are already all oriented. Now for this, we're just going to do sledgehammers. Now I know I said right was back here and left was back here. I'm going to be using these two as right and up, or right and front for the time being. So sledgehammer on this looks like this. We've got R prime, F, R, F prime. And we can see that didn't really mess any of this up. So you're going to have only 2 cases for the top if they're not solved. They're either going to be all unsolved, or they're going to have 2 opposite solved. So when they're all unsolved, what you're going to do is have 2 of them facing back and the other 2 facing the right. And you do sledgehammer, and that's it. Now if you just have two of them solved, you're going to have something a little bit different. You're going to have these two facing up, and two blues facing the same direction, or whatever color you're doing. I highly suggest you try to be color neutral with this. So you're going to have the two blues and have them face towards you, and you do Sledgehammer. That's going to give you the case that we just had. So I'm just going to turn it 90 degrees and do it again. So either you're just going to do Sledgehammer once, or Sledgehammer, 90-degree turn, Sledgehammer. After that, there's only one more algorithm you have to know. And it's Sledgehammer, rotate 180 degrees, or I guess a Y2 move, and Sledgehammer again. And what this is going to do is take whatever color is on the back left, move it to the top. The top's going to move to the front right, and that one over here. You can almost think of it like a U-perm or an A-perm with centers. So I need to get blue up here. I don't really care what these other ones do just yet. So I'm going to do Sledgehammer this direction, so it moves up. And I do Sledgehammer. And then I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees and do it again. And there we go. Same sort of thing to solve the rest of this. I'm going to have to do that twice. So I want red to here, because this will solve 3 centers, but I have 4 out of place. I'm going to move red to here by doing Sledgehammer, rotate, Sledgehammer. Now you saw I kind of did that all in one motion. If I did that just like this, so here orange will move to here, yellow to here, white over there, I would do Sledgehammer, and then rotate, and then Sledgehammer. But I've practiced it so I can just do that in one motion. So let's scramble this up once more. Hopefully we'll get something a little more complicated than what I had last time. So here's another scramble. I'm going to put white, green, red. And we're going to do B, U, R prime, B, L prime, U prime, R prime, L, B, R. And you see that center is still, that corner is still there. So let's start with, well, we'll do blue. I've got blue and yellow right here. Now, this blue needs to be complete opposite corner because it doesn't match any of those. Here's blue, orange, white. So I'm going to rotate it, move it in, done. Then I've got another blue right here, blue, white, red. It's going to match up right there. Then I can just slide that one in. And blue, orange, yellow is going to go here. I can actually just move that one in. Didn't really have to rotate anything. So we need to put green on top. So I'll set this up so these two are facing out and these two to the right. And I do Sledgehammer. Then we need to move the center on top. And I know if I hold it like this and do the Sledgehammer, rotate 180 degrees Sledgehammer, this will go here, this will go here, and this will go there. Don't really care about the red and white, just want the green on top. So Sledgehammer, rotate 180 degrees, and I kind of do that while I'm finishing that final move. There we go. Then the last thing we have is yellow goes here, red goes here, orange goes here, and once more, Sledgehammer, rotate 180 degrees, Sledgehammer. That's it. So we have the intuitive setup. Then we have either Sledgehammer or Sledgehammer setup, Sledgehammer again for these corners, and then that one other algorithm, Sledgehammer, 180 degree turn, Sledgehammer. That's all you have to do to solve the Skewb. This can seem really confusing at first because every time you move the Skewb, half the cube changes. It's like a 2x2 where it looks pretty easy, but you can get kind of complicated in there. Now, of course, there are much faster algorithms you can do as well. You can learn ones that will solve multiple things all at once, and not just this where it's kind of a repetitive process. But you definitely can be pretty fast with this. As long as you're looking around and able to see what has to happen, it's pretty easy to get fast with it. It is awkward to move and to hold, so you want to get used to different finger tricks. A lot of people will turn the front face with their fingers like this. I do a lot of big wrist movements because I do not solve Skewb too much. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.